Her private messages revealed she was secretly dating her boss behind my back, swearing she was just friendly, but I knew she was cheating. When I confronted her, she froze mid-sentence. Her phone was still in my hand, the messages open, lines and lines of flirty banter that had escalated into something you couldn't mistake for anything but an affair. "That's not what it looks like," she whispered, voice trembling, eyes darting from me to the phone like she was searching for some magic excuse that would make it all disappear. My hands were shaking so hard, I almost dropped the phone. "So," I said, my voice quiet but unsteady, "what do you call this?" "Can't stop thinking about last night." "Next time, I'll bring the wine." "Friendly." She reached for the phone, desperate, but I pulled it back. "You've been lying to me for months," I said. "I asked you straight up about him, and you told me you barely talked outside of work." She shook her head, tears welling up. "I didn't want to hurt you," she said. "It was just harmless flirting at first. I didn't mean for it to happen." I laughed then, one of those broken laughs that come out of disbelief more than humor. "Didn't mean for what to happen?" I asked. "Because based on these messages, you meant a lot of it." It all started about 4 months ago. We'd been together for almost 5 years, living together for 2. Things weren't perfect. We'd had our share of arguments, but we were solid, or at least I thought we were. She worked in marketing, and her job had her traveling a lot. New projects, new clients, new team dinners. She'd tell me about her boss, Mark, like he was this mentor type, older, experienced, kind of a father figure, she'd said once. I didn't think much of it. At first, it was small things. She started dressing differently, nicer, more polished, more effort every morning. I noticed she began checking her phone more often, smiling at messages, then quickly locking the screen. When I asked, she'd roll her eyes. "It's just work stuff, babe. You know how crazy things get before a big campaign." Then she started working late. Like, really late. 10 p.m., 11 p.m., sometimes past midnight. Always client meetings or tight deadlines. I'd stay up waiting, dinner getting cold on the counter, telling myself not to be that insecure boyfriend. I trusted her. She'd earned that trust, or so I thought. It wasn't until one Friday night that everything started to unravel. She told me she had to go to a team dinner with Mark and a few others. "Don't wait up," she said, kissing my cheek. "We'll probably grab a few drinks after." I remember laughing, saying something like, "Don't let your boss charm you too much." She smirked. "Please, he's married. Relax." Except I woke up around midnight and saw she hadn't texted once. Not an update, not a heading home soon, just silence. So I checked her location, something I almost never did. It was turned off. That was weird. She never turned off location sharing. I went to bed uneasy but told myself not to overthink it. The next morning, she came home wearing the same dress, makeup smudged, hair messy. She looked exhausted. "Rough night?" I asked, trying to keep my voice casual. "You could say that," she said, avoiding eye contact. Mark's wife showed up at the restaurant unexpectedly. It got awkward. I didn't even know what that meant. "His wife showed up?" I asked. "Why would that be awkward?" She hesitated for just a second, long enough for me to catch it, then shrugged. "She's kind of jealous. Thinks Mark flirts too much with his employees." The way she said it, so offhand, made my skin crawl. But again, I let it go. I didn't want to be paranoid. I loved her. I trusted her. Fast forward 2 weeks. She was in the shower one morning, and her phone buzzed on the nightstand. Normally, I wouldn't touch it, but something in me, call it instinct, made me look. The notification preview said, "Last night was perfect. I can still smell you on me." I froze. I opened the message. It was from M. My stomach dropped. The chat history told me everything I needed to know. There were weeks of messages, all under this thread named M. They'd started off work-related, then slowly got more personal. Late-night check-ins, compliments, then photos, nothing too explicit, but intimate enough that I couldn't look away. And then the real gut punch. "Next time, let's stay at the Hilton again. Room 412 has a great view. You looked amazing in that black dress. Couldn't take my eyes off you." "Stop, you'll get me in trouble," smirking faced. I sat there numb. I didn't even hear the shower stop running until she walked into the room wrapped in a towel. "Hey," she said, smiling. "You're up early." She saw my face. Then her eyes darted to her phone in my hand. Everything that followed was chaos. I confronted her, asked her point blank if she was sleeping with her boss. She denied it, at first, swearing they were just close. But I had proof. Screenshots, timestamps, everything. When she realized she couldn't talk her way out, she broke down. It was just one time, she sobbed. It didn't mean anything. I was drunk, and he. Stop, I said. Don't you dare try to make him the bad guy. You made a choice. She sat on the bed, crying into her hands. I don't even know why I did it, she said. I just felt lost. He noticed me. You've been so distant lately. That one hit hard. Because she wasn't entirely wrong, I had been distant. Work had been stressful, and I hadn't been as present as I should have been. But the difference was, I didn't go out and betray her because of it. The next few days were a blur of silence and half-hearted apologies. She promised to end things with him, to transfer to another team, to go to therapy. But I couldn't unsee the messages. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her typing those words, making those plans, laughing at his jokes. I moved out a week later. She called every day for a while. Sometimes crying, sometimes angry, sometimes begging. You're throwing everything away, she said once. We can fix this. I told her, you already threw it away. 2 months later, I found out through a mutual friend that she'd quit her job. Word around the office was that Mark's wife had found out, too. Apparently, she'd seen the messages after confronting Mark about something else. There was a massive HR scandal, and both of them were asked to resign quietly. There was a twisted sense of satisfaction in that. Karma, maybe. But it didn't feel good, not really. Just empty. People always ask, would you take her back if she came clean? The answer is no. Because what broke me wasn't just the cheating, it was the lying. The gaslighting. The way she looked me in the eye and told me I was being paranoid while sneaking around behind my back. You start to question everything after something like that. Every laugh, every working late, every he's just a friend. You realize how easily someone can build a double life, how quickly trust can turn to rot. It's been almost a year now. I've moved into a new place. I'm not dating anyone seriously yet. I'm not sure I'm ready to. Sometimes I'll scroll through old photos and catch myself smiling at a memory before remembering who she really was. The last thing she ever texted me, about 3 months ago, was, I hope one day you forgive me. I didn't reply. There's nothing to forgive when the person you loved doesn't exist anymore. So yeah, she said they were just friendly. But those messages, those late-night texts, those secret hotel rooms, told the truth she never would. And no matter how much time passes, I'll always remember the moment I read those words and realize the person I'd built a future with had already moved on to someone else, one message at a time.